Here's a project that I've been working on. It's a Honda CT90, and I'm making a 20-part video series, and I'm almost done. There's only a few more parts left, and I keep trying to stay with it, but I keep getting distracted. But it'll get done soon. I get distracted with chair volleyball. I run off there several days a week, and then I come home. I'm old, I'm tired, I don't feel like doing anything more for the rest of the day. So another day goes without me doing work on it. And or else I'm trapping gophers or fixing sprinklers or all kinds of distractions. But I'm trying to concentrate on that. And we got another distraction. This is a Honda ATC90 that has been in my family since 1985. It's a 1975 model. And I bought 3 of these when my girls were little, plus I bought a 185 for myself. And we used to go riding. We went to Klamath and Ocotillo Wells, Pismo Beach, and we rode some hills around Bakersfield. And then the girls got older and they lost interest in it, and they set. Unfortunately, I let them sit in my backyard for a long time, and the sun and weather does a lot of damage to them. Then I put it inside. I kept it inside. Then when I was going to move, I was thinking about getting rid of them, but my daughter Lori, this is hers, and she wanted it, so I took it over to her house, and her husband Fred got it running, and it runs really strong. It's a 90, but it's been upgraded. The guy I bought it from, he bored and stroked it, and he put this high performance exhaust pipe on it. And he says 130 cc's now, and it was fast. And they had it running really good. And then they started having problems with it. Fred, Lori's husband, said that it was losing, it wasn't running right, and it was throwing oil. So he took the carburetor off, and took the pull starter off, fuel tank, and I'm not sure what he's going to do next, but he lost interest in it because he was moving, so he brought it back to me, and it's been sitting around, and I want to see if I can find out what's going on with it. What I did was, it says throwing oil, so I'm thinking, well, maybe there's blow-by, and it's put a lot of pressure in the crankcase, and it's throwing oil out that way. So I'll do a compression test, and if the compression is bad, I'll do a leak down test and see if it's leaking oil past the rings of the valves, or just cylinder head, or where it's leaking oil, leaking pressure from. So I did a compression test to start with, and for a point of reference, the specs are probably around 150 pounds for a really good engine, and a lot of these that I get are around 90 pounds. They still run really good. They don't burn oil or anything, and they can go down to 70, maybe 60 psi, pounds per square inch, and they'll still run. So I did the compression test, and it was 180 pounds. 180. I've never had one that high. So no reason to do a leak down test. The engine is fine. So I decided that I got to figure out why he's doing the blow-by. Maybe I've had them do blow-by when they've had too much oil in them. So let me check it. I should check the oil. I probably should have done that first. It'd be a lot easier. But here's the weird, kind of a funky looking oil thing. But anyway, let me check this oil here and see what's going on here. Oh, what on earth is this? Oh, dipstick. How do you check the oil on it? This looks like some kind of a breather. I think this is aftermarket. This goes out here. comes out the back. I don't know if you see in the camera here, but there's the brake linkage. So it's a breather tube. Maybe that breather tube is clogged up, but why can't, how do you check the oil? You know what? Take a look at this. I think there was a dipstick on the end of this and it broke off. So where is that dipstick? Fred did give me a box of parts. I'll go through that. And hopefully I'll find that there. And hopefully it didn't fall down into the engine. That would be bad. I would want to run the engine with it in there. And I know I've seen this sort of a setup before somewhere. I want to look at my other ATCs. I have several other ATC90s and a few spare engines kicking around. So I'll take a look at those now and see if I can get any more information. Well, I'm back now, and I checked all my ATCs and spare engines, and none of them have this aftermarket dipstick with the breather on it. They're all original equipment. And I'll show you, here's one of the engines. I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is the way they originally came out. And this is the dipstick here. You see it doesn't have the extension on it. Okay, to check the oil, you just put it in. You wipe it off first, you put it in, and then you check it. You don't have to screw it down. So I'm gonna leave this out because I don't have the aftermarket dipstick breather on any of my ATCs, but I did find one on this CT90, and they must have had the same issue. It's basically the same engine, so let's take a look at it. And it has a dipstick on the end of it. So we'll be able to see if this engine is overfilled. Let me compare them. They look the same, so it's probably the same manufacturer. Okay, they look identical. And here is the dipstick. It's a stock dipstick on the right there, the plastic one. So they're the same length. Alright, well, let's see. I'll use this dipstick and we'll see if the engine was overfilled. That might explain it while I was throwing oil. I should have wiped it off first. Uh-oh. Dry as a bone. Let me screw it in and see a little deeper if I can find some oil. Still dry as a bone. Good thing I didn't start it up. Well, it's not over full. That's not the problem. I'll have to do some investigation and let you know what I found in a future video. I guess my finger was in the way there, wasn't it? Okay. I'll end this video here and I'll continue this later on. I did my one thing for the day, so now I'm tired.